Take a deep breath, beloved, and let yourself drop into the field of remembrance. In this sacred space, we open the door to divine connection. May what is shared here today activate a remembering of the guidance that walks with you always. Hello, lovelies. Hello, and welcome back to the Sovereign Goddess podcast. This is your girl, Abigail, and today, this topic was inspired by all the questions I've been getting since I've been talking about working with your mentors and how my mentor, the different mentors that spiritual mentors that I've worked with. I had one person, I was helping her and actually the group connect with their mentor for the year. And she was like, I'm jealous that you have Leonardo da Vinci as your living mentor this year. And I just want to say, me having the mentors that I have has nothing to do with my spiritual gifts and everything to do with what I am here to do, my purpose, what I need, right? These are my crew, these are my support group, right? These are crews that I ride with to take care of me through this life path, or maybe just this year, right? Some of my guides come in just for the year. And some of them are my soul guides, which means that they're here with me from the time I'm born to the time I leave here and after. Like they're like soul family with me, right? So where I'm going with this, you have your own team. So that is what inspires me to continue to share this. Because as you're listening to me talk about my guides, I hope that it it like lights ignites that remembrance of your own soul support group and who they are and why they are here for you. That's the thing. It's like we need to go beyond, oh, so and so is my guide, for this year. I would ask you why. And usually when I do that, they're like, I don't know, right? Because they're more focused on how cool it is to, for example, have Mary Magdalene walking with you, right? And less about why she's walking with you, which is why they show up. They're here to teach you something, whether it's this year or actually to mentor you. It's not even just the teaching, because sometimes they just like holding that space for you. Sometimes they're just activating their divine essence that is already within you. We'll get to that, right? They're activating them, pushing that to the surface because that's what is needed at this time. There's a particular reason why your guides are showing up for you. There's a reason why Leonardo da Vinci has always been with me. There's a reason why, let's say, Frida Kahlo could be with you, right? Or Marilyn Monroe could be working with someone, right? I feel like we tend to think of guides as like the ascended masters, the angels, and yes, they're cool too. They're also there, but we also have other guides. There's different types of guides. It's not just ascended masters and angels. And that is what I learned. And that is what I learned. So it would be probably like 4 years ago that I began to recognize what I call my living mentors. And it's kind of like I call them living mentors because they used to live, as in, like, I can go to the library and find a book about them or a documentary about them or a movie about them. Like, they used to be human, they were here on this earth at a specific, like, they were real, right? Versus, let's say, Yeshua, who's my spiritual my spiritual mentor this year, and actually my soul mentor in general, Mary Magdalene, right? Where yes, they did live, but there's so much wrapped around that you don't know what story is true or not. Or let's say Archangel Michael, right? Where they are full on archangels. They haven't lived as human beings before, right? There is a different frequency they carry, right? 4 years ago, I remember I woke up. Let's see, who did I have that year? Was that the year of Frida Kahlo? I think that was the year of Frida Kahlo. And, like I've heard about her, I've heard about her art, never really paid attention to it, hasn't really drawn me in. And this year, whoo, it was like this desire, this intense craving. Like I woke up, I remember waking up in the middle of the night, and it was like something was guiding me. I just walked straight to the living room. I turned on the TV, and for some reason I found, I think it was a movie about her. It was on Netflix, and I just turned it on. It was 3 a.m. and I watched it, and I was bawling the entire time. After that, I couldn't stop looking at her art, like researching her art, looking at her art, reading more about her inspiration behind the art. Like I was obsessed with her. And I was like, what is going on? And I was like, something just clicked. And I was like, oh my God, you are here to mentor me, aren't you? And she said, yes. And that year, that was the first year that I acknowledged what I call the living mentor. I bet you they've been coming in for me, like for God knows how long. Like if I really take time to think back and actually, yeah, like probably like 10 years ago, there was a guru. Her name is Saima. She's still doing her thing, beautiful woman. And the way that she came in, I actually dreamt about her for a whole week. No idea who she was. I was in grad school at that time. I had no clue who she was. I don't really do guru stuff, right? And so, this woman was coming into my dreams and she was teaching me, like, I was like, oh, a mentor. And she's teaching me these tools and about myself. And I remember looking at her, I was like, you look like a soul family. Like I can identify my soul family through the eyes. There's something about the eyes that it's like, yep, you're my soul family, right? And so I dreamt about her for a whole week. And then at the end of the week, I think I went to school and then I saw a poster of her that she was coming into town. I saw the poster and I was like, whoa, that's who I've been dreaming about. Who is she and why is she coming into my dream? That's how I found out, she's a, guru and a lot about her. But anyways, I signed up to go to her event. And I remember, we all sit in this room in this hall and everyone is sitting down. They make an announcement that she's coming. We don't stand up, we don't do anything. And it's just like dead silent. And she's walking through. She has this big peacock wand, which, if you know me, I love peacocks. They're one of my soul totems, which maybe we'll talk about that next time, right? Since I am introducing you to all of your beautiful guys who are here for you. But she had this beautiful peacock wands, and I still have peacock feathers everywhere in my house. Like I just they're close to me. So that's the first thing I noticed, like, oh my gosh, first of all, you've been in my dream for a whole week. And then second, you walk in here with peacock feathers. Okay, I'm paying attention. And the cool part is that as she was walking, at the center, so between they had like an opening in the center. So it was, the groups were sitting, the two different, I don't even know how to describe it. The people sitting over here and then there, and then at the center she walks through and she was just quiet. She wasn't saying anything and she was just using her eyes and just kind of acknowledging people. And sometimes she would stop and she would like, put her hand on someone's face and smile at them. Sometimes she just kind of look at you and just like it was just beautiful, this deep connection through the eyes, through the soul. You could feel the energy shift in the room. And she walked all the way to the stage where she sat down and then she started talking. And so in my mind, I'm listening to her. I'm like, I'm just feeling everything that is happening. I know there's so much going on energetically, more than it is physically. And as she's talking, I'm answering her. It's almost like I'm testing her in a way. I do that a lot, by the way. I'm testing her. So I'm asking her questions. So I said something like, why am I here? Why am I here? Like, I love what you're doing, and I see myself doing something like that, but I don't know if that's even my path. And as she's talking, she starts saying, what you see is who you are. And she looks at me and she says it again. What you see in me is who you are. And at that point, I'm looking around like, All right, all right. Let's do this again. I asked another question and she answered. Again, I'm asking these questions like psychically. I'm not speaking up. Like I'm just thinking it in my mind and then she'll answer it again. And that went on the entire time. And so at the end of the thing, everybody forms a line and we all go and she blesses us with that peacock feather, which is anointed. Oh, it smelled so good. And just having it, it's just pure light. It's a light wand. Like it was just beautiful. I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, right? But she would be my first living mentor, and she came in through my dreams. She started initiating me through my dreams a week ahead before I even knew who she was. And then when I figured out who she was, it's like, oh, she's coming to town. I went in and had that full experience, and it was it was definitely a soul awakening. Let's just say that a lot happened after that. So that's the thing, like with our guides, they're always with you. It's not like I'm special. That's why I have the no, 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 no. When you hear, I know you've heard this before, where it's like, we did not come to this planet, we did not come into this life alone. It is true. We did not. Like we not only do we have our guardian angels, our angels, the ascended masters, like we have a whole spiritual team. We also have a whole physical level team that are beyond family, that are beyond our friends. Like I know you've met someone in your life where you're like, oh my God, the time that you came into my life was perfect and you must have been an angel because you lifted me up or you activated me, right? There are people that weave in and out in our lives. They're all part of that team. And my hope is that when you listen to this, when you listen to me talk about your divine team that you showed up here with, like if we could get all of them in a room, it would probably fill not even a football stadium. It would probably be like how many? There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them, and I want you to be open to them. I don't know about you, but I w- I don't I would never dream of walking on this path day after day, month after month, year after year without my team. I love my team. I love them so much. And I love the ones that come in and go. Like, I'm always curious each year who's coming in, who's coming in to work with me. And usually I have no idea why. I actually find out later why. So, Frida Kahlo, it wasn't until later that I realized that her main teaching was teaching me how to transform pain into beauty. And that whole year, there was a spark in my creativity. Like I could not get enough. Like just that's where I dove into neurographica. If you've heard me talk about that before, neurographic art. That's where I just dove into it. It just has a beautiful way of taking our emotions, especially the intense ones. It's not just emotions, it's like just our life experiences. You can use it to do anything in your life, right? You just put it on paper and there's certain steps that you follow to bring harmony and balance and bring in divine divine blessings onto it, and it shifts your life. It not only shifts your mind, like there's research on how it changes the neural network, like new neurons form in your brain as you're doing this activity. It is incredible. But that was the year that I dove into that. That was the year that I found it and dove into it, and now I'm on the path of becoming a specialist in it, which is absolutely incredible. Like the more I learn about it, the more I love it. But Frida Kahlo really helped me to step into my creative side and using my creativity to transform the pain that I was experiencing that year. It was mm-hmm. It was yeah, there was a lot going on. It was a very emotional year for me. And art, like me creating art and also just taking time to truly appreciate art and artists. Like up to now it still feeds my soul. Right. So she did that for me. And then this year, of course, I have Leonardo da Vinci, who he's actually one of my soul crew. He's one of the people that I've fell in love with just from the beginning when I found out about him, like very young. I love his mind. Like it blows my mind that how did he get all these ideas that were way beyond his time? Where did he get that from? What was he connected to that nobody else could see? Like he was a very interesting being. He was a very interesting man, right? Or I don't even want to say man because he was interesting, right? The way he saw the world, like nature moved him, nature inspired him, like he just the mysticism of life. Oh, that was his church. And he did not succumb to the boxes, all the many boxes that his society wanted to place him in. He always just like broke through it. He's such an amazing man. Like I'm still learning more about him now. And we'll talk about ways that you can work with your guides. So, like he showed up at this point, since I've been working with the living mentors for a while, it's like once you open to it, it's like it just gets easier and easier to recognize, like, oh yeah, you're here to work with me, right? Like my spiritual mentor. So, for example, Yeshua is my spiritual mentor for this year, right? Now, it doesn't mean that when they leave, that's it. Like, usually it's like the guides that come to you, you're drawn to them, they're drawn to you because you share a code, a divine code. Okay, it's if you're talking about like DNA codons, there's a bond between the two of you, or you and those beings. Like it's resonance, right? It's not just random beings showing up and you're like, oh God, right? Like there is something there. It goes deeper. There's something within you that is in resonance with these beings, and that's why they come to you. So that's why I say when a being comes to you, or when a living mentor comes to you, instead of, oh my gosh, this is who I have, go into why, because that will teach you so much more about who you are and what you're here to do, your purpose. Like seriously, all of them bring different pieces of who I am and my purpose. Each year, I understand more and more and more about who I am and my purpose, right? So that's why that question of, oh, welcome, why are you here, is so important, because that curiosity to get to know them, guess what, is the same curiosity you're getting to know about yourself. They're inviting you to get to know yourself deeply. They become your mirror. That's why I say mentors rather than teachers, because they're not just teaching you. It is a mentorship. They show you, they support you, they sometimes they'll teach you something, right? But it's a beautiful, it's sacred relationship that we have with our divine guides and supporters. So when Leonardo came in, I mean, at this point when they come in, I know it. Like usually sometimes by November before the new year, I would know who my guides are because they just show up. And for me, with my gifts, I have that inner knowing, the gift of inner knowing. I have gift of sight, which is the inner seeing, which is stemmed from my inner knowing. I can hear, I can smell sometimes, like sometimes it just, most of the time it looks like I'm watching a movie, so they can appear to me like that, right? So when they come in, I can see them, I can feel them, I can experience them, so I know. And the more you do this, again, it just makes this process so much easier because you're like, yeah, I recognize you, I know why you're here, welcome, right? So when he popped in, I was shocked because for a while, actually, this year was the first year that my mentors in general, my divine mentors in general, were all masculine. They're usually goddesses, like they're all women and goddesses. And so I was shocked, in a way. And so when Leonardo popped in, I was like, there was the excitement. I was like, oh my gosh, I love you. I love you. I love you. And oh my gosh, what are you going to be teaching me? Like just thinking about everything that you are. What is it are you going to be teaching me? Right. And of course, how I connect with Leonardo, I talk to him. I do talk to him. I did that before, and I definitely still do right now. And I ask certain questions depending on what is going on in my life or what it is that I'm working on in my work, right? Like Can you help me with this? Or what am I not seeing? Or sometimes it just be random message that pops in my head from him. And it's like, oh my gosh, thank you. Right. I also bought his book. So I went to, where was I? I was somewhere. Oh yeah, I was at Costco. And as I'm walking, they have that center area with the books. Usually it's like kids' books, but I walked in and I saw like this big book, and it's a compilation of all his work, like his art, his writing, the stories behind it. And I just grabbed it and I was like, oh my God, here we go. So I got that. I have that. And that is one of the ways I connect with him, with his energy, by learning more about him, by being curious about his life, his journey, what moved him, what was his desires. Like, this is how you get to know them, because as you're getting to know them, guess what? You're getting to know yourself too, and you're awakening those codes within you. Right. So I have the book, and there's this show I watched a long time ago. I think it's called Da Vinci. I don't even know what channel it's on. It's very old, and it's just depicting his life. And it was like many years ago, more than 10 years ago, that I watched this show. And this year I found it again and I started watching it. And it's from a different lens now, right? Where before it was just from fascination. I guess it's still the same. It's just now he's my mentor. Right? So it is a different energy where I could feel him right there, right here next to me. And as I'm watching the video, it's almost like he uses that as an avenue to communicate with me or to show me what I need to see. Because there's certain things that I'll see like pop out at me that I didn't see before when I watched it, or certain things that they would say and I'll have to like pause it and write it down, right? It's a different energy. So what I'm gonna do, actually what I have been doing energetically, is activating that, kind of clearing that path so that you, hopefully you begin to see glimpses of your guides. And we're gonna start with this. Who is your living mentor this year? Who's here to support you this year? Let's just set that tone there. Okay. And then whoever joins, great. But let's start with who's here to support you this year, right? So as I'm talking to you, what I have been doing, me and my guides, is just clearing the energy so that you'll be able to see who is coming through. And of course, we created a container of divine love, like divine light. So don't worry that some weird energy will pop in that is not for your highest good. No, the container is divine container. Only that which is in resonance with divine can come through, with ultimate love can come through. So you can rest there. You can feel good that you're in a safe space, that you are safe. Your higher self is with you too, making sure that no BS happens. No, no one who is not supposed to be there happens. But with that beautiful sacred space that we've created at the beginning, it is safe. The people, the beings that are coming through, they're coming through the divine. How does that make you feel now? And that's the thing, when you start opening up to these beings, especially spiritual beings, a lot of people make the mistake of thinking that spiritual means all light. And that perhaps is coming from the all love and light kind of thing. But just like the physical reality, there's that duality of light and not so light, right? It's the same thing in the spiritual realm. And that not so light aspect in the spiritual realm, if we are connected, if our channel is straight into the divine, like anchored into the divine, and the divine pours into us and surrounds us in this beautiful golden bubble of light, and our guides create a golden like circle around us, and our higher self is right here, and our angels and archangels. Do you see the picture I'm painting? When you come in as that, only that which has that divine codes can walk through or even come close to you. So it is very important that you connect first. And you do that through your heart. Take a deep breath into your heart and out. And from your heart, just open it and say divine, divine light. Or if you use the word God, you can use the word God, whatever name you give to the higher light, the higher consciousness. If it is Christ consciousness, use that. I invite you into my heart. You can also call in your higher self into your heart. Actually, I advise doing that because your higher self is you, the higher version of you, right? The divine version of you. So call your higher self into you and really see that light pouring down into you, into your heart, and all continue all the way down, anchoring into your earth, and then call in more light from the divine mother. So from the earth, it comes up into your heart and then continues out and kind of spews out around you. And then from your heart, now you have those two light or flames or frequencies within your heart. So let it pour out from your heart and create that sacred circle around you. There you go. And it's more of a bubble because it's enclosed. You are enclosed within it. So it's a bubble of light around you. It usually feels like a hug, a big hug from the Divine Mother and Divine Father. And from there, that's where I operate. I don't need to go anywhere. I don't need to go out of my way to go connect to anything. If something comes through, it is coming through the divine. I don't have to go here and channel here and go there and channel who and what. No, I channel my higher self first because my higher self is in connection with the divine. It's right there, plugged into the divine. And that divine wisdom, divine light, divine love, it just pours right straight into me. It doesn't go here, it doesn't go there, it comes straight into me. And then from there, it comes out. Let's keep things simple. It's not supposed to be complicated. And it also protects you. This simple practice is a reason why I walk you guys through this day in and day out. Every time I do this, right? This simple practice protects you. It aligns you. It balances you. It heals you, right? It moves in front of you and opens up the path for you. You begin to walk in this world differently. If you don't believe me, try it. Try it for a week and then stop it. Like just pause and see. You will feel the difference. You'll be like, oh my gosh, I need to do this now. You'll feel the difference, right? So from this space, it's always important for you to be in that divine space. And then from that space, call in what it is that you need. So as we're talking about the living mentor, it's coming through your divine connection. So whoever steps forward had to check in with the divine first. And if they're not for your highest good, they can't even get close to you. And that's the container we've created. And so it is. So perhaps you already have a glimpse of who your divine mentor is for this year. Perhaps as you're listening to me talk, something pops in your mind, or you look at a book, or you see a face, or you hear something like music, or you smell a scent, right? Using your gifts, right? Perhaps you've already have signs of who your guides and your mentors are. And if that is the case, then the next step is to acknowledge it. If you're smelling roses, I wonder if, for example, Mother Mary or Mary Magdalene, right? Or anyone from the goddesses of the rose. It could be them, right? But when you tune into it, it is an attunement, right? You begin to see more of who that is. So I'm hoping that you're already beginning to experience or feel or just know or see or hear who your living mentor is for this year. But if not, let's go ahead and do this exercise together, shall we? And you can even do this on your own. You can create a beautiful sacred space where you light a candle, you cleanse your space with sage or Palo Santo, or with intention, right? You can call in that exercise that I just showed you where you bring the light from above into your heart, from the Divine Mother into your heart, and then extend it out like a bubble of light, and then call in your guides and divine supporters to create a circle of light, a golden circle of light around you, and invite your higher self into your heart. So hopefully you were able to envision all of that. Just taking some time to take a deep breath. And if you need to pause it and kind of get that set up, go ahead and do that. And you can always come back and re-listen to it and walk through the process. So once you've created that sacred space and you are standing in that beautiful light of the Divine Mother and the Divine Father, you can even say something like this: I now open a sacred space to connect with the divine mentor who walks with me this year. I am ready to receive. I am ready to remember. I am ready to walk with my guide. I now open a sacred space to connect with the divine mentor who walks with me. I am ready to receive. I am ready to remember. And I am ready to walk with my guide. Take a deep breath in and out. And you can ask yourself quietly, who walks with me this year? Who walks with me this year? And if you love to journal, here are some prompts for you so you can write it out. You can journal on these prompts. Who has been showing up for me lately through symbols, books, dreams, or thoughts? What qualities am I being invited to embody this year? If I could choose a divine mentor, who would I call in and why? That would be a fun one to journal about. What message is trying to reach me right now or this year? What timeline opens when I walk with this mentor? That's a cool one to journal with too. Just take some time to either journal or connect or just visualize whatever works for you and see who walks in. Now, you might get a living mentor or you might get a divine mentor. So, again, a divine mentor is like beloved Yeshua, Archangel Michael. You might get Mother Mary, beloved Kuan Yin, right? All the goddesses, the masters of light, Ascended Master Kuthumi. I don't know why he's coming in, right? Those are the divine mentors. So when I say divine, they're like the spiritual mentors, right? When I say living mentor, I'm talking about those who have lived. It's like, yep, they totally did. And here's the documentary of them, like they were alive. So Marilyn Monroe, Frida Kahlo, Mother Cabrini, like think about, Leonardo da Vinci, right? Those would be your living mentors. And again, our team is like a different types of mentors in there. So whoever walks in right now, don't think that's the only mentor that you have. No, it's not. That's just who is stepping up that you need to get to know right now. That, the person who needs to, or the being that needs to work with you to help you through this year or perhaps this month. And again, you have the power here. You can either ask for a mentor this month or you can say the entire year. I'll say the entire year so that you have time to really spend with these beings. And trust me, the way you walk through the years will completely change. So let's do that. Let's practice with the year. The living mentor who's here to walk with you. And I want us to start with the living mentor because they were human. They were human. They've been here. We can find them, right? Like it's easy to connect, where I feel like when we start going into the divine world, our mind start to be like, well, you're higher than me and you're here. We start to put them on pedestals and we don't tend to open up to really receive them fully and listen to why they're here. We tend to put them on pedestals. So start with a living mentor. Really spend time with them, getting to know them, which getting to know them is what? Is getting to know you. Learning about their desires and purpose is what? Is learning about your desires and purpose. They're in alignment with you. They're aligned with you. That's the only reason why they showed up for you. There's a reason why you have a certain mentor that I've never worked with before. We all have divine, different signatures, different purposes, different lineages, right? Yeah, we are all here to express ourselves uniquely. We all carry a certain puzzle piece to contribute to the wholeness, and it's beautiful. So one mentor is not better than the other. Remember, it's about the purpose behind that mentor. Why did they show up for you? Why are they here for you? And then once you recognize who your mentor is, some of the ways that you can keep connection alive, right? Reading about them, watching movies about them, watching documentaries. If they have art, go buy some of their art. Like one of the things I did for Frida Kahlo, I bought a calendar, one of those yearly calendars that I can put on my wall so I can see her art there, right? And it is another way I would just look up there in my office and she was right there, and a beautiful way for me to connect, right? So using tangible things to connect with them. There's so many ways that you can connect with them, but you have to do it. You have to do it. It's like I just told you, all of you guys, like the amount of guides that are constantly with you. Right, there's so much coming through. I can barely talk. My mouth can barely like catch up to what wants to come through. Right, like we all. I just said we all have this team who are constantly with us. You've always had it. And perhaps it's more that you just have never reached out to work with them or talk with them. It's just like our guardian angels, and angels is like they cannot overstep unless you call them in, unless you say, hey, can you help me with this? But they will always be with you. They're constantly, your guardian angels are always with you. They're always walking with you, whether you believe in them or not, whether you call on them or not, right? So when you take the initiative, when you invite them in and you ask them to help you, that's where the magic happens. So I want to hear from you after this. If you love this and you want to dive in on all this divine mysteries about you, this is why I created my Goddess Unleashed group, my mentorship program for amazing women who want to get to know who they are and step into the fullness of who they are. That God is wisdom, that God is love, that God is beauty. That's what that path is for. And if you just want to start with your gifts, your purpose, then that's where Elevated Empath, that's what that membership is for. We can work together and really solidify that this is only like a little piece of the deliciousness that comes with our connection to all that is divine and holy. The more you get to know yourself, the stronger and anchored you are to your truth and your divinity. We're going to end with this. You are not here to replicate what has been done. And this is a message from Leonardo that came through for me. I'm sharing this with you. You are not here to replicate what has been done. You are here to awaken what has not yet been imagined. Genius is not found in perfection. Genius is found in the courage to wonder again, to see beauty in chaos, to explore without certainty. Do not wait until you are ready. Begin, and readiness will meet you. Trust the whispers that come in stillness. They are not yours alone. They are the voice of the universe painting through you. The greatest creation is not your art, your work, or your legacy. The greatest creation is you, becoming more fully yourself. And when you walk with the unseen ones, you remember You have never walked alone. Mm. I love Leonardo. I hope you fall in love with your living mentor as I continue to. I am grateful. I mean, it's just these mentors, when they step in, you're like, what? You're my mentor? I couldn't even begin to describe the feeling that comes with these beings that walk in and say, I am here for you. I am here for you. What do you need? I'm here. Let's do this. And the challenges that come through, I'm here with you. We're going to walk through together. We're going to break through together. We're going to heal together. I'm going to teach you ways that you never thought was possible. Oh, pure gratitude. Pure gratitude for all my guides and guardians. And when you start working with them and inviting them more into your life, you will begin to understand that we never came here alone. When they say that we have all the answers that we need to our questions, we really do. You will begin to understand that. So let this be a beautiful, sacred invitation for you to dive in deep with your mentors, starting with your living mentor. And I would love to hear from you. What are some things that came up for you as you were listening to this episode? Were you able to meet your living mentor? Who was it? And how do you feel about that? And what questions do you have? Send me an email. Let me know. Or send me a message if you're connected through social media. It's because of your questions that I was able to come and talk more about this and share this experience with you. So continue to bring it in. Share with me. You don't need to keep it to yourself. Share. Share it with someone you trust. Start talking about these amazing support that is here for you. Always. Always, always, always. All right, my loves. Thank you so much again for another wonderful week of storytelling. I hope it inspires you and blesses you in ways that I can't even comprehend. From my heart to yours. Until next time, have a fabulous week. Bye.